question to you. In your opinion, what is your favorite Christmas story in movie form?
Ooh.
Maybe Elf? Home Alone?
No.
Well, today, I would like to share with you what I believe is the greatest Christmas story ever.
Star Wars.
Main character. What was that?
Okay, we're excited. Please continue.
Well, let me introduce you to the main character. His name is John McClane.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah! That's actually really good.
John McClane was a New York City police officer. Back in 1988, John McClane had a pretty rough Christmas.
Yes, he did.
Let me tell you a little bit about it. But first, give you a little backstory on John. See, his wife had earlier got a job. She got a good job, a director's job. Unfortunately, it was 3,000 miles away in Los Angeles. But she took that job and the kids and moved across the country. John didn't go with her. He had to stay behind, finish up some of his unfinished cases on his docket. Well, this particular Christmas, John decided to go visit his family. And he flew on Christmas Eve to Los Angeles. And hopefully to repair some of that damage that distance had caused to his relationship. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a short limo ride from LAX to the place of his wife's employment. The Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah.
It's an unfinished skyscraper in downtown LA. They were to attend the Christmas party on Christmas Eve on the 30th floor. Well, they reunited for a short amount of time when Holly, his wife, got called away. Well, unbeknownst to them, the entire building was taken over by a group of international terrorists.
Man.
Led by this man, Mr. Hans Gruber. What they started to do was take all of the party attendees as their hostages. Well, John stayed back. He actually, luckily, got to hide and snuck away and went up 2 flights of stairs where he saw something incredible. In a conference room, they pulled Mr. Nakatomi, the big boss of the company. What these bad guys needed from him was something they didn't have. The secret codes to the safe that was within the building. This safe had 7 different locks, and only Mr. Nakatomi knew the numbers. The safe contained $640 million. That was their ultimate goal, to get this money and get out of the country. Well, Mr. Nakatomi decided he wasn't going to give up the codes that easily, so they decided to shoot him. And boom! His blood, brains splattered against the window, and John actually saw it happen. He knew that these were no ordinary criminals. He knew he needed to step into action and do something. So, the first thing John tried was calling the police. Well, the bad guys cut the phone lines. And this is 1988, didn't have cell phones. So the next thing he tried is he pulled the fire alarm. All right? And that sent the fire truck, but that didn't work either. The bad guys were able to convince the fire department it was a false alarm, and they sent the fire truck back. So this is where John's police instincts kicked in. He knew he had to take charge of the situation. He needed to save his wife and as many of those hostages as he possibly could. So the rest of the movie is a great series of escapades with John actually exploring the entire building, taking those bad guys out one by one, ultimately securing weapons, and in the end, getting their explosives and detonators, which they needed to get to that last portion of the safe where all the money was. They needed those explosives to finish the job, and he had them at a disadvantage. Well, John, like I said, took out all of the bad guys and ultimately tricked Hans Gruber into a trap and pushed him off the top of that building, where he ultimately saved his wife and the day.
Christmas is.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you need, or you're ever looking for an excellent Christmas story, I want to direct you to the story of Die Hard. One of the greatest Christmas story movies of all time. And you don't need to wait till Christmas to watch it. If you haven't seen it, I recommend going to see it today. Thank you.